आत्मा को जो है जैसा है वैसे जानकर जो पाप से लेना चाहिए, जैसा है जो है उस रूप से जितना लेना चाहिए वो अधिकार सदा प्राप्त करता है। अपने आप से भी जो बाप ने बनाया, जो बाप ने सेवा के निमित्त रखा है, जो बाप ने ब्रह्मांड जीवन की विशेषताएं व दिव्य गुण दिए, जो दिए जैसा निमित्त बनाए, ऐसे अपने को पहचान, वो सब परमान अपने को आगे बढ़ाए। इसको कहती है आपको, आपको और ब्रह्म आत्माओं को जो है जैसा है वैसे जान आगे बढ़ाना। ये है पहली परम दिव्य बुद्धि। दिव्य बुद्धि अर्थात होली हंस बुद्धि। हंस अर्थात स्वच्छता और हीर और नीर को व मोती और पत्थर को पहचान। मोती ग्रहण करने में जानता है कि ये कंकर है, ये मोती है, लेकिन कंकर को धारण नहीं करते। इसलिए होली हंस संगम युगी ज्ञान स्वरूप विद्या देवी सरस्वती का वाहन है। आप सभी ज्ञान स्वरूप हो, इसीलिए विद्यापति या विद्या देवी। समझाना सभी ने समझा।
Om Shanti. Avyak signals. Remain constantly in the stage of a detached observer. In the final moments, Brahma Baba had loving, especially beloved children in front of him, and yet he had unlimited disinterest. He had his hand in another's hand, and yet was free from attachment. This is called being beyond in 1 second. This is the proof of unlimited disinterest. There was only one concern: service, service, and service and beyond everything else. This is called unlimited disinterest. Do service, but remain beyond service. Let the attitude of unlimited disinterest be in an emerged form. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Welcome to Avyakti Parivar. Today's day 21. Companion of God. Today's topic, removing obstacles. Now we will listen to Mohini Didi.
Om Shanti, everyone. Everyone is happy, okay, right? Yes, very good. So we all had been practicing to keep a peaceful mind, right? When thoughts are pure, mind is peaceful. It is in the peace that we accumulate power. Because mind doesn't react to anything. Wherever it is necessary, it thinks, it responds, but doesn't react. When mind is not peaceful, then we are not able to respond, but we react. Then other person reacts. So we are trapped in this cycle of action-reaction. But if we have to be like Brahma Baba, detached observer, it's only when you are peaceful, when you see things, you see them in a very, very beautiful way. When mind is disturbed, then you have a lot of questions. Why this happened? Why so and so is like this? Why this one's behavior is like that? Peaceful mind has lot of connection of being detached observer, because there is more power in peace, right? And also there is a thought that I have to spread the vibrations of peace. Not only I am observing, but I am also bestower. You observe it and you give sakash. You observe it and you give light and might. It's very beautiful. Because if I am only observing, then I also take something. Like I observe someone behaving in anger or lack of contentment. I'm observing, but I'm also absorbing something. But if you remember that this is the time that the soul who is angry needs peace, I need to have an atmosphere, create atmosphere of peace. So when you think you have to do something, it's very, really beautiful, because then you can really be detached of them. Like Brahma Baba, he didn't wanted to take anything from children, right? He didn't expect anything. Of course, they should make good efforts. They should stay on the journey. So Baba had pure vision, highest vision. Like Baba just now said that uh, divine intellect is called swan intellect. And when there is Swan intellect, you can discern. The Gulzar always used to tell us when someone is not in good mood or irritated, gets upset, Shudra sanskars or warrior sanskars are emerging in that soul. But if we stay in our original eternal stage, then in a way we are giving the right message. We are giving the right message. And when you give the right message, then there is also Baba's presence. So it's not only I'm observing, but I'm bestowing also. Then your tolerance, your patience, everything will emerge. You will remember, oh, you will have so much patience with that person. So a peaceful mind is able to create all beautiful qualities and observe. Because peaceful mind wants to give, wants to share. Now this is where we are thinking about that how there are so many different obstacles. And while on journey, we want to remove, when you are traveling, if there was a storm, you see a big trunk of tree on the road. Sometimes you find there is a lot of traffic. Sometimes you see driver in front of you doesn't seem to have control over the vehicle. So many obstacles could come. I think each one of you have a lot of experience that when you are on journey, some of the obstacles are in the vehicle, your own vehicle, or the directions you take. Sometimes you could forget direction. Then you do try to take help, but it's an obstacle, right? So now when we think of spiritual journey and the obstacles, then some of the obstacles are in the mind and intellect. In body consciousness, there is a very, very subtle, what we call it as resistance and stubbornness and to the change. Sometimes there is a lot of acceptance and sometimes there is resistance. So how to keep mind? I always say the traffic, the lane of mind should not have a lot of traffic. So thinking too much, excessive thinking is traffic of the mind. So when you have a lot of traffic, then intellect has to regulate that traffic. So intellect is busy. To see, to observe, to check the traffic. Right? So subtle obstacles are, one is traffic, other is very, very subtly, you have left home to reach wherever you have to go, but your mind is still at home. I am not sure if I turn my lights off. I'm not sure if I did this, or very subtle thoughts pull you back. So some kind of anxiety is a very common emotion in most of us. Anxiety of leaving and anxiety of reaching, both. So subtly with, as I was sharing that day of happiness, had these three thoughts: be calm, and be wise, and third was be kind. So when you have to be calm, this anxiety, subtle anxiety, like when we were coming to India, everyone was so concerned, very concerned about our trip. So overall, there was a lot of anxiety. What will happen? We have to be cautious. We have to be alert. We have to be this, that, which we are still here. So to keep mind very calm is very important. And intellect as wise intellect, not cautious, not alert, but sensible, to be very prompt in taking action, whatever is necessary. But then, of course, there are also lot of physical obstacles too. Even just to attend Murli every morning, there could be subtle laziness. And some, they have very little bondages and they don't know what to do with them. Some mothers say, oh, I have to give breakfast to my children. So I always say, well, prepare it, keep it, let them eat. No, I have to give them breakfast. Very, very little bondages, which can be very easily settled. And actually, when you are doing that, you are doing service, because they see your dedication towards your study, towards your time for meditation. And when they see that a good quality, you are sowing the seed of good quality in your Lokik family. But sometimes you sit in meditation, sometimes you read morally, there is no fixed time for anything, no disciplines. So they also say, well, anyways, what is she doing? It's so surprising that those who are very, very fixed in their routine, in their principles in Lokik life, there are a lot of, internally there is a lot of respect. But those who don't, so not only they take advantage, but they don't have respect for you. But if you say, no, this is my principle and I'm going to do it, they might create obstacles, but internally they know it's a very good quality. I remember that when I came in Gyan, a lot of old mothers, in the morning, classes used to be very early. They carried their bag with Murli, notebook, pencil, and they leave home. So children also will say, granny or mother, or going to school. My mother is going to school. And when they don't go, they will say, but you don't allow us to take holidays. Why you take so many holidays? They encourage them. But if you are not regular, there won't be motivation even in children. So everything can be obstacle, but also it's a service. When you don't stop yourself or get stopped by obstacle, it does a lot of service. It shows your faith, your strength, your love. So any kind of obstacles. But if you remember that whatever you're doing is beneficial for everyone at home, like many times there are 6 members, 5 members, and one has a good job, and everyone gets sustained by that income. Same is this income, right? If everyone doesn't do, you do it. Actually, it is very, very good for whole family. So obstacles from logics. Sometimes it could be from your own body. Many find it difficult to wake up in the morning. And they always find some reason. Some souls say, body is tired in the morning because it's cleansing the organs in the morning. So I said, then they can start cleaning by 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. If it is doing, let it do that time, no? So that at least you can be listening to Murli properly or being in class. But also, whatever reason you cannot go to morning class, but maintain your principle, right? And principle is you must listen only same time. Not only that, but take shower, properly get ready as if you are sitting in class. Not okay, drinking Murli, walking around, cutting vegetable, and listening to Murli is not a study. So there will always be some obstacles, could be physical. Same could be, maybe could be through money. But never forget that money also increases if it's appropriately used. Sometimes you might say, I don't have. But if you say, no, I have to do at least this much. Let's say I have to offer bhog, I have to give my monthly contribution. What I don't know from where money will come. You can experiment with it. I have seen whenever it comes to giving, it's also coming receiving. It's also receiving. Whenever in service anything is required, and if we cooperate, instantly there will be the return or reward of that. So think about your own life and check what kind of obstacles come. Are you able to remove them? That means you have power, you have determination. But if every little thing stops you, that means you are weak. that means you are weak. Mm. So think about, make the list of obstacles and how to remove those obstacles. It's a very, very good practice for today, for you tomorrow, right? It's our Amrit Velami here at 5:30. We are still in Gyan Sarovar. So beautiful. Springtime here. Lot of flowers all over. Living flowers and flowers in the tree. We are expecting today and tomorrow around 350 double foreigners for this last group. So number has increased from 100 to 250 to 350 now. Okay, let's remember Baba. Om Shanti. Om Shanti, everyone. Om Shanti, Om Shanti.
Welcome to our Vyakti journey, Adi Ratan, a rare jewel of great courage, pioneering a path to the new world.
Dadi Shilindraji was the one with clean and clear intellect. She was the daughter of Queen Mother and younger sister of Didi Mohini Didi. Dadi Shilindra's Laukik family had played a special part in giving their cooperation to the yajna during the time of beggary. Dadiji came from a very rich family. She used to say, "Our Laukik house was so big that it would take us 30 minutes to walk from one room to another." As soon as Dadi met Baba, she surrendered herself for the world's service. Anyone who would meet Dadi Shilindraji, they would be touched looking at her simplicity and her tapaswi face. Dadiji has played a special part in receiving Baba's clear directions for the establishment of the yajna. Dadi was also very accurate and alert. If she had to go somewhere, Dadiji would be ready 10 minutes before everyone and make sure all the preparations are done. Once she picks up something to use, she would put it back in the exact same place. While Dadi Shilindraji was in the Gam Devi Center. Every morning after Murli class, she would walk around the center to check that everything was kept at its right place. If Dadi saw that some sister had put their belongings in a different place, Dadi would sweetly take it with her and keep it safely until the sister had realized that she had misplaced her belongings. Looking at this balance of law and love, Baba used to call her the governor of Mumbai. Dadi Shilindraji had a clear intellect. She would catch Baba's directions at the right time. In 1971, Baba had sent a group of 6 brothers and sisters abroad for service. Dadi Shilindraji was chosen as the main coordinator of that group. Once, they were all in New York and they were about to go for an exhibition at one of the organizations. They all took the ride and left for service. While they were on their way, Dadi Shilindraji remembered that they did not go to Baba's room before leaving. She remembered that Baba always says, wherever you go for service, make sure you remember Baba for at least 5 minutes before leaving. Dadiji asked the driver to go back to the center. They all went to Baba's room and sat in silence. While Dadiji was remembering Baba, she received pure touching from Baba. Look, child, Bharat's service is different from abroad service. In Bharat, if you forget to take something, then someone would most likely come and give it to you. But here, you have to play the role of both worthy of worship and worshipper. You should make sure you have taken everything for exhibition. And immediately, Dadi Shilindraji realized that they forgot to put a matchbox for an inauguration of the exhibition. Everyone checked the bags and saw that indeed the matchbox was missing. Then they all left for the exhibition and had great success through the inauguration. Baba had given special blessing to Dadi Shilindraji. This daughter's line of intellect is very clear. She catches Baba's thoughts and brings them into practice. Baba also used to say, daughter Shilindra is a princess, Shehzadi. Her way of speaking, walking, interacting, and moving around is very royal, sweet, and accurate, like a princess.
right, so now I would like to invite our dear angel sister, Sister Judy, and we'll get our homework for tomorrow. Welcome.
Om Shanti Avyakti Parivar, and Om Shanti Didi and Bhumika. That was really an interesting conversation with Didi on removing obstacles, wasn't it? So I'm thinking about two things. First, let me ask you, how did you do with your peace? Were you successful? Were you able to keep yourself at peace? Quiet, calm, and all that? You know, Didi said tonight that peace is powerful. She said there is more power in peace than there is in anger, right? And it reminded me of a story with Dadi Janki. Now, some may have heard me say this. I've told this story before, but we were in Oxford in a dialogue, and there was Dadi was the speaker. She was opening the dialogue, and she gave a talk on peace and how important it was that we have peace and happiness and all of that. And when she got done with her talk, one of the people in the dialogue, who was a young guy named Karva Pop, who was from Namibia, said to Dadi, I don't think it's appropriate to this peace and happiness. He said, at least where I'm from. He said, I'm from Namibia and we have lots of problems. We have viruses, we have violence, we have a lot of problems. He said, if I just went around being happy and peaceful all the time, what would people think? And she got up and she walked over to him and she said, Karva, there is no power in anger. She said, the power is in peace. She said, we think it's powerful because it's noisy and there's a lot of energy in it, but there's no power in it. And that's what I was thinking when Didi was talking about the power in being peaceful. And so you would have felt that today, yes? The power in being peaceful. It's very important. So let's talk about the subject for tomorrow, which is removing obstacles. Now, this is very interesting. So I'm going to tell you a little story about an RC meeting that took place in September of 2014. And you know, when Dadi Janki came into those meetings, the whole atmosphere changed. Everyone got quiet, and she made her way into the room, and then she would sit down and everyone would listen, because we would have been meeting for a couple of days, or at least all day that day. And so the RCs had been talking, and they had actually been talking about a situation that had happened and one soul that was particularly a problem in the situation. But when Dadi came in, she sat down, we briefed her a little bit, and she always would say, let's have a few minutes of Baba's remembrance. So we had that, and then Dadi said, in the yajna, from the beginning, there are always incidents. We mustn't ever touch those. Don't go there. It is inevitable that there will be obstacles. Some create obstacles, some remove obstacles, and some remember obstacles. She had been very sick in 2014. So she said, during the 6-month episode of my health, there is so much I wasn't aware of, but the past is the past. What do I have to do? Whatever is to happen will be good. She told the RCs, you are not just instruments to give gyan. You are instruments to give sakash. Many can give gyan and do yoga. The way we speak and move does service. We should play our parts as detached observers and keep Baba as our companion. Ultimately, she said, let me have no worry, no extra thinking, nothing in my chit. There are 3 words, Kushi, for example, the happiness in this meeting, Sukh, the inner pleasure on seeing each other, and Anand, where there is truth, there is the experience of bliss. Regarding stories of defamation, which is what they've been talking about, please don't speak about it. Don't give so much time because of one soul. Each one of you is responsible for staying in your happiness, peace, and bliss. Let that wave begin, and that will spread. As a detached observer, whether it's in Bharat or the world, see each one's face, because it is these faces that are going to glorify Baba. So what was she saying? She was saying that when we think about the obstacle, we become like that obstacle. Then we can't give sakash. We can't uplift people. We can't bring peace to the situation, right? So she's saying, don't let that happen. Don't dwell on those things. Keep yourself in happiness and lightness and love. And then you'll be able to remove obstacles and serve. So here's the homework on removing obstacles. So if you keep saying that you have an obstacle, then you become the form of an obstacle. When you have a powerful thought, the world also becomes elevated. As the thought, so the world. If you create thoughts of happiness, you experience the atmosphere to be one of happiness. To remove obstacles, simply have a determined thought that everything belongs to the Father. So remember that what this is about is becoming a companion of God, right? So if I'm dwelling on obstacles, Baba can't come close. So we remove the obstacles by keeping our thoughts in that elevated place. So let's hear the guided meditation.
Removing obstacles. If you keep saying that you have an obstacle, then you become the form of an obstacle. When you have a powerful thought, the world also becomes elevated. As the thought, so the world. If you create thoughts of happiness, you experience the atmosphere to be one of happiness. To remove obstacles, simply have a determined thought that everything belongs to the Father.
विघ्नों को समाप्त करना। विघ्न है कहने से विघ्न स्वरूप बन जाते हो। समर्थ संकल्प उत्पन्न हुआ तो सृष्टि भी श्रेष्ठ होती है। जैसा संकल्प वैसी सृष्टि। अगर खुशी का संकल्प रचो तो आपको खुशी का वातावरण अनुभव होगा। विघ्नों को समाप्त करने सिर्फ ये दृढ़ संकल्प रखो कि सब कुछ बाप का है।
Om Shanti.
All right, everyone. So don't think about obstacles tomorrow, right? Think about happiness and power and strength and all that. But if an obstacle comes, then you remove the obstacle, right? So that's your practice all day. Keep yourself strong and powerful. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Good night.
Om Shanti.